I'm glad that you've enjoyed, you've enjoyed lots of my videos and the last couple of live streams. So what's the time now? So I've got about 45 minutes spare, about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'm going to have my next meal. So I thought I'd do another live stream today. And the topic today is about how to meet women by being yourself and by being honest, plus how to have a great outlook on women. So I'm going to explain how any guy can do that if he wants to do that and he's willing to face his fears, take responsibility, and develop his confidence in other areas of life. Hopefully I'll get to your questions today as well. We'll see how many people come on the stream. Just give me 5 or 10 minutes because I'm just doing what I've done on the last few streams. I've got to do the SEO because I don't know how to do it on this phone. So it gives me a few minutes to get warmed up, get my thoughts together, and give you guys some time to come on, ask me questions, and so forth. I'm going to get some water as well. I'm gasping, so hold on a sec. Oh, that's a pretty dodgy thumbnail, isn't it? Let me change that. It's good that I noticed it. That's why it's always good. Thumbnail, isn't it? Let me change that. It's good to do a check so you eradicate mistakes. Right. Hold on a second. I always think of it like this when I do these live streams. The first 5 or 10 minutes don't really count. It just gives me time to get the technology up and running. Let people come on the stream. For anyone out there who's doing live streams, this is personally my opinion. I've learned to not burn myself out straight away and wait till people come on, because sometimes I've come on and I've given so much great advice and I feel knackered after, and there's only a couple of people on the stream, which is okay. So I rather wait till the stream builds up, see how many people come on, get the get that positive energy going, and then go from there and see. And if people don't come on, then it's not the end. It certainly isn't the end of the world. I'll just stop the stream and continue on with my life and do a stream another time. So let me know where you're coming from. Any questions? I think you guys will like the topic today, or those of you that want to make positive changes. Hold on, I'm just going to change the thumbnail here because that one's not too good. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I've got to get some water. I'm absolutely gasping. Right. That's kind of a funny picture. Let me use that. That's me when I'm younger, right? Have a bit of fun with this. Don't usually do it, but there's me with my 6-pack when I was younger, right? And we're gonna touch on that as well. We're gonna talk about I'm really gonna talk about a lot of the limited negative narratives that men have, and the reason why they have those narratives and how they can change it if they want to. So you can't do it by force. I don't force any guy to change his outlook on life because I haven't got the right to do that. But I'll do the best I can, which is to put the information out there. And those that say, Johnny, I need your help. Can you help me? I want to learn. I will help them. I'll do the best I can. Don't be shy, guys, right? I can't do this live stream on my own. I need your help as well. Get your questions going. It doesn't have to be, it's not a formal meeting, right? We can have fun here. How's your day been? How's your progress been going in your life? Let us know. Don't be shy. Feel like someone has cut my throat, gasping for a chilled... You crack me up. Love it, Timmy. I love it. I love that. So you crack me up, man. I love people with a good sense of humor, man. You know, I can forgive you for all those insults, how you've insulted me over the years, but when you come up with great humor like that, okay, all right. We're going to get to these questions. We're going to do so. Let me get some water because, as Timmy said, I'm absolutely gasping, right? 1 minute, guys, right? Get your drinks ready. No alcohol, by the way, on this stream, right? Strict. Get your orange juices, your water, or your grapefruit, or your healthy juice, whatever it is, right? Let's do this. Right, where we go? Everything charged, batteries, power, electric. Let's do this. I'll tell you what, right? I might even put my shirt on, right? So I can be more professional. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Right, where are we? Right. You got to set a good example these days, right? We're going to be talking about positive outlook on women, on ourselves. Get your questions going, guys. Right, let's share this stream. Share this stream with a friend, right? A positive friend. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, the thumbnail, that was me in my younger days. I was 23 there, right? This is an interesting story. This is true. Now, when you look at the shape I was in fantastic shape there. And I look at that sometimes, and I'll be honest, I do think, oh man, I feel, I wish I was in that shape now. But the real truth is, yes, I was in great shape back there. And as you can see, I had a six pack, and that was years of training. And because it took me ages to get in that shape, years. But the truth was, I wasn't happy in my love life. And the reason is, I didn't have a love life. So a lot of guys have these narratives that are very, very limited. Very limited. Things like, oh, if I had a six pack, I'd have a girlfriend, I'd get women. The fact that I don't have a six pack is the reason why women don't find me attractive. Well, as you can see, I had a six pack in that picture. I was ripped, I was in shape, but I didn't have the inner confidence. I hadn't worked on my dating life there because I was allowing fears and limiting beliefs to hold me back. Yeah, I built a good physique. That was great, proud of what I'd done. So it just goes to show that it's not always that simple. It's not just, it's things like guys will always go to the extreme. I'm not saying all guys, but a lot of guys, especially when they're asleep, right? I'm just going to talk straight to her. I can't beat around the bush. When guys are asleep and they're ignorant and they're angry and resentful and they want to make excuses, they will go to the extreme. So it's like, well, you need to have loads of money in order to get a woman attracted to you or to get a date. And women only go for guys that are 6'2", or women only go for guys for six packs, or oh, I'm bald, I'm receding, or I've got a comb over. Women don't like me, or I live at my mum's house, so no woman's ever going to want me. It's all this kind of like, it's victim mentality. It is. I understand it. I know it. Listen, I know it's not easy for guys. I've been there myself. But at the end of the day, you don't want to stay like that, because it ain't going to change for you. And that's how I succeeded with dating and relationships and women and teaching, because I realized that, well, I'm making a lot of excuses. I've got to change my outlook. And that was a process in doing it. So I like to show that example to people and say, look, yeah, I was in great shape. I look at it now and go, how did I get like that? And that's natural as well. I didn't use any, you can see I wasn't a massive guy, but I didn't use any steroids, any drugs. That was just pure dedication. I trained like 6 days a week, had a good diet. I failed my way, went up, it took me a long time. But the truth of the matter is, that guy in that picture at 23 couldn't get a date. Couldn't speak to women, was absolutely paralyzed with social anxiety, right? I had good friends, thank God, and I went down the gym and I was brave in some other areas, but I was a complete coward when it came to dating. And the reason is because I listened to the negative narratives of society. Now, I'm not going to start bashing on. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, although there's a lot of truth in that. You know, I'm not someone who's going to start bashing society and going, oh, everything in society is wrong, even though there's a lot of things that are not right I don't agree on. I'm sure you guys are intelligent the same. But the real truth of the matter is, where do we get these ideas from? Because we're not born with them. When we're first born, when we're young, all of us, right? All of us guys, majority of us, we're just good people. No, we're good people. We're not second guessing ourselves. We're not paralyzed with anxiety around people and women. We don't feel so self-conscious. These things get taught to us, slowly get drip fed. And again, I'm not just going to target one thing, but you know, the media are a bad example, Hollywood, the movies. And I've written an article about this where they put these messages in. Now, I'm not saying there's a group of people that conspire in a room and think, right, I'm going to put messages out and make life difficult for Johnny and all you guys so they can't get women. I'm not saying it's like that, but indirectly to sell their movies and to put certain ideas out that are very negative and toxic. And I personally think they're not just negative on men, they're negative on women. If you take those ideas in and you start believing them, it's very easy for men to have a negative outlook on women and vice versa. It's easy for women to have a negative outlook on men because we watch these movies and we're taught that, well, famous people are valuable, they're right, they're an authority. It doesn't mean that. So you're watching a Hollywood movie, you don't realise it when you're a young kid, you're innocent, because I love movies, right? And some of the Hollywood movies are brilliant. But you're watching a movie and all of a sudden you're seeing a guy in the movie who is like a lot of us when we're younger, because I was a bit like that, a little bit geeky. I looked a bit geeky when I was younger. I had my glasses, I had my side parting. I was a lovely kid, but I was awkward. So they'll show a character in a movie who's socially awkward, and then they'll put a beautiful woman in it, and they'll make this guy. They'll portray the character in a way to make the character look bad and make him look like a failure, and he won't get the woman in the film. There'll be two things that will happen. Either he will physically not be able to ask her out, and it will be like the film The 40-Year-Old Virgin. He won't be able to do it. He'll be like freezing up. Everybody will be laughing in the film, or when he tries to ask her out, he'll drop a mince pie on his trousers, or he'll bump into her and drop all her books. Now, I've got a good sense of humour, but there's the messages in these things subconsciously, you start taking them in. Or if he does ask her out, she'll like look at him, laugh at him, and there'll be a character in the movie who will be a man who looks perfect. He'll be good looking, he'll have a six pack, he'll have big muscles, he'll have a car, he'll have money. She'll go with him. So what messages are you taking in? You know? Yeah, it's true. I agree, John. So what messages are coming in our head? The messages that's coming in our head is when you're watching that movie or a few years later is, I'm not good enough. I don't have millions of pounds. I don't have a six pack. I don't have cars. I'm not that popular. I'm not a celebrity. I'm the awkward guy in the movie, because that's what's happened to me. I'm the guy that don't get women. I'm the guy that women laugh at. I'm the guy that women think is repulsive, undesirable. So of course, years and years of taking these beliefs in, it doesn't just happen in one day. You get conditioned over time. So by the time you're 15, 16, 17, 18, by the time you're 20, 21, you are traumatized. Now, I'm not just blaming the movies. I'm not just saying it's just Hollywood, because that wouldn't be accurate. It's all around the world. It's British movies, other countries, and then the magazines, and then the TV programs. So you're taking in such negative information. So now when you're in a normal social situation, right, if you guys agree with what I'm saying, or you feel the same values, hit that like button, share this video. So now you're in a social situation in real life. You see a nice girl that you like, or a nice woman. It could be in any environment. You could be at a party, you could be at a family wedding, you could be at church, or you could be at your personal holy place of worship. You could be on the street, you could be in Starbucks, you could be online dating. Now there's hesitation. Now you're going to get thoughts like, she ain't going to go out with me. I want to ask her out. Oh, damn. Oh, man. I'm not good looking. or I'm not enough, or I don't have a lot of money, or I don't have much to offer, or oh, I'm an awkward guy, I'm embarrassing, she's going to laugh at me. And then guys don't speak to women. And the crazy thing is, right? The crazy thing is that woman that you want to ask out, that you think's going to think that about you, that might not be true. That there's such a high possibility that if you be yourself and you be honest, no one's perfect, none of us are, and I'm not, right? So don't confuse that. But if you just be genuine and just have a conversation with her, she might absolutely say yes and go out with you. Now, I'm not speaking from textbooks. I'm not just making this up. I'm speaking from a guy who struggled for the first 15 years of his life, and there's no exaggeration, there was a stage of my life where I was suicidal because I couldn't get a relationship. I didn't believe any woman liked me, and I was in agony. I was contemplating on killing myself. So I've gone from that, right? That was over 10 years ago, right? I didn't do it, right? But it's not the point, is it? It's not healthy to be having thoughts of, I want to kill myself, I'm not good enough, I'm never going to get a relationship. Like, I feel terrible about myself. Like, everybody else has got relationships and I haven't. That's not healthy, obviously. So I've gone from that guy to working on himself, changing his outlook, sticking to the values that my parents taught me. My nan taught me, my aunties, my female friends, my good male friends, my faith. Following those values, not following the values of what they teach in Hollywood and the media and the British media and the negative stuff. I've gone from that guy that wants to kill himself, really literally does, to a guy who a couple of years later listens to a Les Brown video of motivation, hears his story, goes out, starts speaking to women with honesty. I get rejected at the start because I'm very nervous and insecure, and then I fall in love and find a girlfriend. And I don't get her through money because, quite frankly, at the time I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. I didn't have any money. I had like 30 quid. I wasn't working. I didn't have any money. I'm not a celebrity. I didn't live in a big house. I lived at my mum's and dad's in my 20s. But I just started to believe in myself and be honest. And she fell in love with me and I fell in love with her. And it's the sort of girl that years ago that I didn't think would like me. So that's when I really started to learn. I really started to learn that the thoughts and the beliefs that I was carrying for so many years were not true. It was only because I believed that they were true. They were lies. But obviously I had to go out and disprove them. And obviously, I was around a lot of positive people growing up, but I was also around a lot of negative people, a lot of negative guys that used to put me down, put themselves down and say, oh, women only go out of you if you got to be like a drug dealer, you got to have cars, you got to have money, and that's a very limited narrative. Because, yeah, there's women out there that go for that, but that's not every woman. And I wasn't looking to go out with women like that. So we tend to do that. The negative media and the negative culture tends to nitpick. So, for example, what they do, guys, to everyone. They go on my videos on my channel and they will take, because no one's perfect, they're going to take one snippet of something I said. They're going to edit it and they're going to make me look bad. And they're going to say, this guy, look what he teaches, or look what he says, or they're going to twist my words, when all I'm saying in every video is men should have a respect for women. Men should have a positive outlook, but at the same time, men should be men. Men should be confident. They should be themselves. So it's like they're going to twist that, and somewhere they're going to change something and try and make me look bad. The reason why I gave up the gym was because I got complacent. When I met my girlfriend, shortly after that picture, some years after that picture, right? Because I was in a bad place in that picture. It's really contradictory. I was fit and I looked great, but I was mentally, I was really struggling back then, right? So when I became successful in my business and started teaching and got a girlfriend, I was so happy, which was great, happiest time of my life, that I just stopped training. I stopped working out. And I didn't realize that that was going to catch up with me. And obviously years later, I did have a mental breakdown and I became overweight. Now I've been getting back in shape. So let me get back to my point, right? And I'll answer you guys' questions. So I've lost my train of thought. Let me get some water, right? Things are going great, Chris, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I can't complain, you know. Things couldn't be going any better. Of course, I've got challenges the same way everyone has, but things are great. I'm really happy at the moment. Probably one of the happiest I've ever been in my life. And even more happier that I'm spending time with you guys. So, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree on that. That's a good point. So, where was I? So, basically, I'm not the only one, right? This happens to people. Even when you're trying to do good and you're being positive and you generally got good intentions, you know, the media and people will still try and find ways to bring you down. But that's all right. I've accepted that. That's a part of life. So back to my point, right? There's all these notions that men have, right? I remember going out with a friend. I'm not going to say his name, right? I've grown up with many people. And I'm not blaming him. This is what conditioning can do to people. This is what he said to me, right? And it made me feel terrible at the time. And I felt bad for him. A good friend of mine, we were sitting in his room, right? And we were talking about life, and we were young at the time. And we were both talking about the fact that we both didn't have girlfriends, right? And we were down about it. And he said to me, he said, you know what it is, Jonathan? He said, you got to have a car to get a woman around here. If you haven't got a car, then you're not going to get a girl. And I remember believing him at the time and thinking, damn, you know, I'm not driving. I don't have a license. I couldn't afford a car back then. And I started comparing myself to all the guys around my area. And a lot of the guys around my area had cars, right? And it made me feel worthless, you know. It made me feel terrible about myself. And it made me feel it wasn't a nice thing to hear from one of your best friends, but he felt the same way. And then I remember going away and something in me was really disagreeing with what he said, right? And I didn't take it personal of him. He was only saying, he was speaking his fears, his limitations, his conditioning, what the society taught him, what my area had taught him in many ways. So I remember thinking, no, I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that as my reality. That's good. Listen, Chris, as I said, man, you just got to stick with what you're doing because you've been making a lot of progress and it's just a question of sticking with it. So I remember going away from that conversation with my friend at the time and saying, you know what I mean? I'm not going to accept that as a reality. Like, it didn't feel right. It didn't make sense to me. So I've got to get a driver's license and a car just to get a woman to like me. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I didn't agree with it, man. I didn't agree with that statement, that belief. And I was right in the end because I don't have a car. Still haven't got a car now. There's nothing wrong with having a car. I don't possess a driver's license. And the truth is I've dated loads of women in the last 10 years and I've had at least 3 or 4 long-term meaningful relationships, and I didn't attract any of them women with money, with fame. I didn't do it with any fake stuff, guys, all right? And again, I'm not no perfect person, but I know I'm a good person. I did it through being myself. I did it through being honest. So if I can do it, and apparently according to society and most of the people that I grew up with, I'm an average-looking guy. I'm Mr. Average. I'm average-looking. I didn't come from rich parents. I didn't get a great education at school. I'm not, you know, but I'm just hardworking. And I have the courage and the guts to go out. And it's the simple things that work, you know. I'm going to get to the questions, guys. I promise I'm going to get to your questions. Sorry, there's 2 videos here. So I want you guys to hear this positive message because one of the things that I really want to achieve on this channel, and I know I'm going to succeed and fail with it, but I really want to help men to have a better outlook on women, because that's one of the dangers of today with so much bad advice out there that, in my opinion, comes from bad teachings. You've got men teaching other men to have a bad outlook on women, and they think because of the place they're at that that's the way that you're going to get women. Now, listen, for argument's sake, there's going to be a narrative. There's going to be guys. I had this all my career of teaching. Guys will say to me, "Well, Jonathan, I know one guy. He's an arsehole. He treats women bad. He's an arsehole, and he gets all the women. And I'm a nice guy, and I don't get anything. So it can't be true. So why is that?" And I'm like, listen, you're looking at something in a very limited way. Okay, he gets women. Okay, good for him, and he acts like an arsehole. But where does he end up in the end? What type of relationships does he have? He has bad relationships. Women don't respect him, and they're dysfunctional. So for me, that's not successful. Dating lots of women and sleeping with lots of women doesn't make you something. It doesn't make you better than someone else. That's why I don't go on YouTube. That's why I don't post up all my private life of every woman. It's not a good way to go about it. So the challenge I would say is, well, how comes I'm not an arsehole? How comes my friends are not arseholes? How comes there's so many men who treat women with respect and they're successful? So I think it really comes down to what values you have, what types of relationships that you want with women, and what kind of relationship you want with yourself. If you want to use garbage, if you want to use the manipulation and the tricks, and you guys know it's out there, and you know I don't agree with it, right? And they don't agree with me, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree. I don't hate those guys, even though they hate me. They're wasting their own energy. But the whole tactics and all the manipulation, you're just living in insecurity. You're not being yourself. So what's the point? When you're yourself, it's very rewarding, because I can sleep at night and go, well, I know that I attracted this relationship, this woman, through myself, through being me. I didn't need fame. I didn't need cars. I didn't need big houses. I didn't need to show how much money I've got. I've never ever, guys, I've never attracted a woman and said, never ever have I attracted a woman by saying, oh, you know I'm a teacher, you know I'm on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I'm the opposite. Like, I don't even want to talk about, I don't even want to use that. I don't use that. Any woman that I've dated will find that out later on, because I don't want to be using anything other than who I am as a person to attract a woman. And if a woman is only interested in me because of my material assets, even though I don't have much material assets, I wouldn't date her. I don't care how beautiful she is. I'm not interested in it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'd rather be on my own. So personally, for me, I am old school. I am strong in my values. And I think a lot of guys today, I'm sorry to say, but they're not strong in their values. They're, because they doubt themselves. They care more about what the outside society thinks than their own values. I'd rather live and die by my values and have the whole world against me, the whole world not agreeing with me. I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to sell my soul and buy into a majority of a society that's dark. It's not honest. It isn't. They're not good values. They're not coming from a good place. So that's why I didn't follow it. And when I was younger, I remember going out like a lot of guys, and I've spoke to women and men, and they both said to me they felt the same way that I did, right? I'm sure so many of you are going to agree with me. Some of you won't. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. Who remembers the days where it was normal, where the way that men and women would meet, right? I'm not being overly righteous. I'm just being straight, right? Who remember the days of nightclubbing? Like, how many nightclubs did you go to and you come out and you felt depressed? It was dark. You didn't feel good. Something in you didn't feel right. You went out to these nightclubs. You're a genuine guy. It's genuine women. We used to go out in groups of friends. Don't get me wrong. We had a good time sometimes, right? Because I was with friends and we'd have fun like any normal young guys would. But for most part, I always remember coming out of the nightclub, going home depressed, and not being able to meet a woman, because the women and the men were taught by society to act inappropriate in the clubs, to be nasty, to be bitchy, men and women. I'm not just targeting both, right? See, I'm sure certain powers that be will love to take my words out of context. And both of them play these games. And I always hated that. It never felt right growing up because that's not how I just weren't, or it just did, it's not right. So I started getting clued up from those days. Like something, you know, when they say the pennies dropped, or today we use the word awakened, or you're awake, you woke up. Yeah, I started to wake up. That's what started to happen. You start realizing that certain things are not right, and that you do, and you're not going to live. You're not going to live by them. So I'm not saying to everyone out there don't go nightclubs. I never said that. I'm not saying that it's that it's bad if you go into a nightclub and you meet someone. No, it's great. Listen, it doesn't matter where you meet someone. If you love them and you like them, that's great. My point is the values that are being taught, and the values through the movies and stuff are really, really bad, really bad. How many men and women have committed suicide? How much has that had to do with the fact that bad influence? All right, we're going to get some questions now. We're going to get some 5 more minutes, right? I'm nearly finished my rant. You know, I mean, there's a lot to answer for. So hopefully people will receive this message in a balanced way and it won't be taken out of context. So basically what I'm saying is that men and women can meet by being honest. They don't have to try and be something they're not. And I've got concrete proof of that. There's a lot of guys on this channel. There's a lot of you that don't believe you can get a relationship. I get emails every day. I get the comments. I have the conversations. I'm smart enough to see what's going on. A lot of you have got the narrative. I'm going to cover this now. There's a lot. Sorry, my neck's hurting a bit. I'll get some more water. Yeah, values are everything. I agree, man. That's why now, yeah, I don't argue with those guys. You guys know who I'm talking about. I don't argue with the guys that are dark, that try and challenge my philosophy, my outlook, which is the best way to meet women is with honesty. I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't care if people get bored of it. I know this is the truth. It certainly is the truth for me and many people, right? Everybody's, I suppose, living from their own perceptions. The way to meet women, the way to attract women is 3 ways, which you could put it down to 1. Be yourself, be honest, respectful, and be confident. When you apply those values and those principles, yeah, of course you're going to get rejected from time to time. Everybody gets rejected. You're going to be successful. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm just reading some of the questions there from Bobby Boldy, JRB. Hipster bars are easier. Everyone chats. Big clubs are awful generally, full of fake people and lots of violence. I've never felt easy in one of those for ages. Yeah. A lot of people feel like that. That's what I'm saying. You can't just say, oh, you know, that person's just generalizing, because so many people feel that way. Yeah, 100%. You know, being open and being vulnerable, it does take time. I've always said that, guys. I've never said, have I? Well, I've always kind of explained that it isn't easy, to be honest. Obviously, that's why we have such a challenge. That's why we've got so many men that are struggling. And it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy. It's scary, but it's worth it in the end. Because at the end of the day, I'll say a saying from Les Brown that changed and saved my life and changed it. You will fail your way to success. So even when you're being honest and you're coming from a great place, you're still going to get rejected by women. It's called life. You're still going to get rejected in all areas of life. Same with going to a job interview. How many job interviews have you guys been to in your life? I know I have, where you turned up, you were honest, you were genuine, you did everything you could, and they seemed to like you, but you still didn't get the job. Maybe they just wanted somebody else, or they had their own agenda, or for whatever reason. But how many people follow Les Brown's teaching and keep going when the failures happen? And that's something that a lot of guys struggle with, and I used to struggle. See, guys don't realize. 100%. I mean, look, all these qualities, you know, being genuine, being caring, all these things make a difference. But like I was saying earlier, John, and to a lot of the guys, there's a lot of negative advice out there from all sorts of sources. I'm sorry to say it, man, and I don't like judging other people, even though a lot of people judge me, and I always like to lift people up. And I'm not going to say names, right? There's a lot of bad advice out there. There's a lot of so-called experts who are saying that they're going to teach you how to build great relationships, and the advice is shocking. I mean, it's like, would you want your kids to do that? If I had kids, I wouldn't want my kids to listen to that because it's dark. And there's also, to counter that, there are a lot of good relationship coaches online. There's not loads, but there's a few. I've come across a few really good female ones that give solid, concrete advice, and I can tell that they've got good relationships in their life. They're speaking from truth. They're not just trying to sell crap and get people to buy a product, and they've got good intentions. I can see that right off the bat, right? Some people can't. Listen, I'm not getting into names. I don't do that. I ain't got time. Names and gossiping, I ain't going to do that. I'm just making a point, right? But listen, at the end of the day, people are always going to have their opinion. I don't really care what people's opinion is about me, because I just focus on living out of my values, teaching the people that appreciate my teachings. And I was always going to be criticized. I always was growing up, because I didn't go with the narrative of most people, which is to be dishonest and use the tricks. I didn't go with it, and I'm glad I didn't. I respect myself for that. That's what's given me great strength. And I'm still going to be challenged. And I'm not the only one. I follow so many good people. Anybody good in this world seems to get more criticism. You seem to get more criticism and hatred when you're doing good than when you're doing bad. Anyway. But it's a positive message. I'm basically trying to say that there is hope for men. And, you know, that's the danger, watching movies and believing these things. I'm going to say this as well, right? I really mean this, and this has been true. And I hope it's going to be true for you guys in your experience, because I've seen the comments and the kind of disappointment from a lot of men. There are so many great women out there to meet. There are so many genuine women that are just the right person for you, with the right values and the right attitude. And all you've got to do is really have the courage to go up and speak and be honest. And they're out there waiting for you. So a lot of you guys are kind of living in this mindset that, you know, no women are interested in you. You can't get women. You're not good enough. But that really isn't true. But obviously, if you don't put the effort in and take responsibility and face your fears, then you're just prolonging your chances of meeting someone. Because the question I would ask is, most of the time, how comes I get great responses from women? And I build great, of course I get turned down. And I'm proud, there's nothing wrong with that. Even though some guys are obsessed with, they almost don't like the idea of rejection, but they don't really understand it until they inquire, which is why the great Les Brown said, all of us, it's not just me or him or you. In any area of life, especially with relationships and dating, you're going to fail. You're going to get rejected. Men and women get rejected, not just men. But it's how you deal with it. And it's whether you quit. And if you don't quit and you can still have a good outlook, and I keep saying it, see, if a woman rejects you and turns you down, but you can still have a good attitude towards women and not let that make you resentful, or to make you feel, oh, because one woman's turned me down and hurt my feelings, then that means all women have turned me down, which isn't true. And that's some of the narratives I feel they teach in the media. They may not say it as boldly as I'm saying it. I'm not saying they say on a film, I'm not saying there's an advert saying, if one woman rejects you, then all women. But it's subconscious how they do it. You know, it's through the messages. So you could be turned down by 20 or 30 people, and then on the 31st conversation, you meet someone. So it's really not taking the failures personal. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of online dating. I'll say this about online dating. If it works, then that's great. And it does work for some people. But so many men and women have told me, and I've got common sense, that it really hasn't worked for them. So that's why I don't do it personally. because I find most of those dating sites are not honest. Even the dating sites, I actually checked one out the other day. I wanted just to see how they work, and they use dishonest marketing. They basically tried to trick me into signing up and paying, what was it, between 50 and 70 pounds a month. So it was, I knew they were lying because I'm smart. I understand. I can see the patterns in these tricks, and I don't like it. So it's like, oh, 7 women like you, 7 women have checked your profile out, but if you want to see these women, you've got to pay 70 pounds. It's like, it's not honest. Why don't you just tell me from the start? I don't mind. It's not, selling's not dishonest, but it's the tactics, it's the tricks they use. So why don't you just say from the start that this is a paid app, and if you want to date on here and find a perfect partner, then you're going to need to pay £40, £50. Fine, I've got a choice then. But don't do these little tricks where it's like, it's free to build an account. Yeah, it's free. And then you get on the thing and it's not free. See, they're not, already they're dishonest. The values are all the tricks to get money out of you. So that's why I wouldn't use them personally. I don't like that stuff. And then, that's what's going to be on the platform, isn't it? It's going to encourage cheating, tricking. I'm not into all that stuff. It's dark, it's weak, there's no strength in that. So, most people today are probably going to think I'm crazy. I'm not surprised, because I've got such a different message and outlook to majority of people on these sites, because these sites are not honest, and it's full of tricks and manipulation, and it's designed to break you down and make you feel like you're worthless and hope that you just get lucky. Where it's not really like that, dating. It's not like, oh, I'm going to play the national lottery and just keep playing, I'm a loser and hope I get lucky. When you develop confidence and good social skills, you create your own luck. You create your own relationships through having self-esteem, having belief, giving value, and having the right values. So the confidence that I have and that I've built over the years, it came from my values. If I took my values away, I wouldn't be anything. I'd just be a phony, a fake, someone who's using a persona, and I chose not to do that, because that just feels horrible. And obviously, when you find the truth in what you're trying to figure out and it works, why would you change it for something that is phony and it's weak and it's encouraging you to trick? So I've always understood that very clearly. Any man that needs to use tricks and a persona and lines to meet a woman, he's clearly fundamentally weak. Because if you're strong and you're confident in your own ability, you don't need to try and be somebody else. You haven't got to use tactics, because you're enough in who you are. And that in itself works, and it does work. Women love that. But of course, a lot of women are used to interacting with men who are not being themselves. And that's one of the biggest sticking points I've seen throughout the years, all around the world and with my clients to begin with. And that's what I help them. They're great guys. They're attractive. They're unique. I'm no better than them. I'm not below them. But they're not being themselves. They have self-doubt. They doubt themselves. And every time they've tried to interact with women, because they're so afraid of being hurt and rejected, they're going to go online and use these tricks, because this guy said to do this book said it, and then they're coming unstuck. So, of course, yeah, I used to get criticized back in the day by the dating community and the other guys and all the rest of them. They used to say, oh, Johnny Berber says, just be yourself. You can't just be yourself. It's not that easy. You need a system. You need a strategy. You need a blueprint. And I says, bollocks. Listen, if you can't be yourself, then you've got to learn how to be yourself. And the way that you be yourself is by practicing being yourself. And of course, that's not easy at the start. Why would it be easy? You've got to earn it. You've got to develop. It's like saying, well, you can't just go in the gym and just train hard, because it's not that easy. It's like, duh, of course it's not easy. That's why you got to work at it. But it doesn't mean you can't do it. And I'm proof that you can do it. So it doesn't really matter what critique people have said about me and my method. I got results at the end of the day. So it doesn't really matter about he's not doing it by the way we said it, or I'm not working from your manual. You guys work from a manual. You work from the pickup manuals, which is dark. I don't use that crap because it's jargon. It's rubbish. It's written by guys that are not honest and that are in a bad place. They're in a dark place, and I don't follow those values. I follow the values of my faith: honesty, love, compassion, kindness, and being confident. And that works amazing. So why am I going to change it? I'm not going to change it to suit your world. You stay with what you're doing, I'll stay with what I'm doing. I rest my case. Argument, it's not even an argument. Basically, we've got different values. You live out the values of dishonesty, manipulation, and those tactics. I live out the values of truth, love, and being yourself. It works for me, it works for my clients. So nothing more to be said, quite frankly. And I've always thought like this: I must be doing something right if it irritated so many of these guys. And to be fair, I've always said it. These guys don't realize, but they worked for me for free. They marketed me for free. Every time they badmouth me, my revenue goes up. Every time they badmouth me, I get to help more men. Because what usually happens is people go online and they slander me, or they say bad things about me, or they put me down, and then a guy says, let me check this guy out and see if he's rubbish, or and I get messages from guys saying, well, so-and-so criticized you and said you're useless in your techniques and your teachings and you don't know what you're doing. But now I've seen your story and your videos, I actually really like your approach. So it's all good. And it's not one of my goals to make loads of money, even though it's nice to make a few quid, especially when you're working hard and helping people and helping others to make money. But that's one of the byproducts. So not only are they marketing me, they're growing my brand. They're making me bigger, where I know their aim is obviously to pull me down. So the best thing to do is just not to mention my name, not to say nothing. Don't make me relevant. I'm giving you tips on how to not make me prosper. If you speak about me, I'm going to be more successful. People are going to check me out on YouTube. They're going to go towards me. Yeah, there's always going to be people that are going to say, yeah, he's crap, I don't like him. That's good. That doesn't affect me. I've grown up, strong mentality. That's part of the process. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, hang on a minute, this guy's speaking truth. I can tell he's speaking truth. I can feel it. And I followed his advice and he got me a relationship. So I've got so many people with relationships. So I know that my teaching, my ethics, I know they work. And the reason why I don't bring up names, because I'm not into that. I'm not going to learn myself to that level. And I'm not going to market people. I'm not going to market people that, that I don't agree with their values for free. I'm not going to do that for them. So you don't realize how smart I am. And that comes with being a good person. But listen, at the end of the day, every man's got to make his own choice. So if you're going to disagree with me, then that's your choice. You got a right to do that. If you're going to go and think, well, I'm going to listen to this guy who teaches this and that, then that's your choice. It's a big world out there, and I suppose that's what makes it interesting. So we can agree to disagree. But yeah, I don't change my values. But that's what most men do. Most men compromise their integrity. They compromise their values. They compromise everything to suit the world. And I know this is deep, and I'm not preaching on people, but this is how I feel. I'm going to say it. I'm a Christian, right? I'm not a perfect Christian. But I don't think there are any perfect Christians. One of the things that Jesus said, and I always remember and it always stood out, is, live in the world, but don't be of the world. Maybe he said it a bit different, but basically, yeah, we're all living in this world, but don't buy into the darkness of it. Don't buy into the peer pressure of the media and all the other stuff that's not important. And that's what's really helped me in my life, in all areas of life. And it is extremely challenging. Same when you're younger at school, that it's peer pressure. I remember a teacher saying to me when I was younger, I was very young, obviously, we were young at school, and she told me off, right? She gave me a good lesson. She said to me, you're a good student, but you're very easily led. And that was true at the time. I was a young kid. She goes, you misbehave because you follow the crowd. And that really made me wake up. That was a slap on the face, because then I realized she's right. I got to stop doing that. I got to stop following a group of 10 people because I want approval from them. And I'm worried that they're going to shout at me, or they're going to try and bully me, or they're not going to like me for being different. Now I would never do that. Obviously, we all live and learn. So that's one of the things that happens today in this culture. You see it everywhere. I'm not just talking about in the dating industry. You see it everywhere. People just compromise their own values and integrity to fit in. And I don't do that. I ain't doing it. Yeah, people are easy influence. That's why for me, I was having a chat with my friend about this. There's a lot of people that I follow on YouTube, different people, different walks of life, and they're brilliant. And I just get a sense straight away. I know they're good people. I can just tell. You can just tell. You can just tell by the body language. You get a certain feeling, and I follow them, and their values are spot on. So I suppose I've learned a lot today. We've all learned a lot from speaking to you guys and just talking things out. As adults, that it does come down to values, and I think one of my clients at the moment, that's why he's doing so well, because he has good values. His parents have brought him up with good values, and he has got the courage to live from those values. Which is there's one thing having good values. There's one thing having good values from your parents, but it's another thing living those values when we're living. See, Les Brown said another thing that I really agreed on. Another really great thing, and he said, he said, the dominant culture that we live in, the world that we live in, again, I can't say the exact words, but I'll find a video, you guys can check it out. Something like this. He basically said, we're living in a society, all of us, men and women, where it's designed to break down your identity. It's designed to break you down, man. Break you down in a way where make you compromise your integrity and your values to be someone else that you're not, to fit into a society that is sick, really sick, to be quite frank. And when he said that, I said, Les is right. That's why I love Les Brown. So you can't go wrong. I've been following Les Brown now since I was 25. I'm 38 now. Work it out. What's that? 13 years. You can't go wrong with good people. His advice has lasted the test of time. It's weird, man. It's like we live in a world that's got multiple worlds. And what I mean by that is, there's a negative world out there, and it always has been, but there's a super positive world out there. When you go out and you look and you face your fears, you meet some great people along the way. You meet some people that are just genuine people that don't have what I see a lot of people have today. They got this agenda. They got this kind of, there's a darkness there. They're not genuine. They're trying to get something. And I can sense that with people in the first 10 seconds of meeting them or seeing them on a video or a call or whatever, maybe a minute. And I know you guys are like that. You're very intuitive and sharp. So that does help you going forward. But yeah, guys, listen, man, my point is all of you can find a girlfriend, a relationship, you can get a date. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not saying to you it's going to be easy, but I'm telling you that you can do it, that you can do it. And some of you, it might be easy. Everyone's different, but that shouldn't put you off, because not doing it is not easy, is it? If you don't do nothing about your situation, is that easy every day? I know it wasn't easy for me when I was going through anxiety, depression, and every day was a living hell, if I'm being honest. So when I started facing things, it was really difficult for me, but I did it, and it was rewarding, and it was way better. It was way better moving forward with my fears and insecurities and challenging myself than it was staying put. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, one of the things I've learned, which has been interesting over the years I've been teaching, and with people, from some of the mistakes that I've made in the earlier days, and learning, is that you can't force people to think the way that you do, even though it's human nature sometimes do, even when you know that you're right and they're wrong, and they're going down the wrong road and you're trying to put them on straight. You can't do that. You have to kind of respect them and where they're at. So with the pickup guys who are into the pickup stuff and all the other stuff, I don't agree with their philosophies and what they do and how they go about it. But at the same time, I can't force them to live from my values and my friends' values and your values and my mentor's values. So I just have to leave them to it. And if they attack me and they criticize me, then I just feel bad for them. Then I guess that's their choice. It's not going to affect me. They've been doing it for the last 10 years. I've tried natural deodorant, but I still sweat. It's embarrassing. Um, yeah, I sweat sometimes, not today. It depends. Yeah, I mean, personally, that wouldn't embarrass me, but I can understand, Mark. Like, again, there are certain things that embarrass me that wouldn't embarrass you, but that's interesting. I never even thought of that. I've got some deodorant. Where is it? No, it's not possible. It's not possible. Not with that philosophy. You can't combine pickup with honesty and integrity. The two contradict each other because the philosophy of pickup is not honest. It's about manipulating and tricks. But you can attract women. You can meet women. The way I meet women, the way I teach, the way many men before me have. I'm not the only one. I'm just a speck in the ocean. You can meet and attract women without pickup. Pickup's only been around for like 20 years. The guys that helped me, the values that my dad taught me, pickup wasn't even around then. So it's a subgroup, it's a small thing. Anyway, I don't want to talk about pickup too much. I don't want to waste my energy on it. I want to talk about positive things, but appreciate your question. Yeah. Appreciate you guys coming on today, man. The numbers are going up, man. I hope you. I'm having a bit of a joke, right? I hope you guys didn't just come on because of the thumbnail, man. Come on, guys. Really, really. I appreciate that, Mark. It's interesting. You know what, man? You never know what they're putting in these products, man. You never know what they're putting in, man. I might bring a little one out, a little deodorant, Berber deodorant. I'm only joking with you guys. I'm having a joke. But yeah, my main point is there's great women out there. Any guy can succeed. Stop being a coward was one of your best videos, mate. I appreciate that. A lot of people have said that. Um, Interesting. One of my one of my clients, he didn't like that video. But that's fair enough. Everyone's got their own opinion. I liked it, and many of you do. Yeah, that was me at 23, Mark. I was just making a point, Mark, of showing the guys, everyone on this channel, that although I look like that at 23, and I'm proud of the shape I was in, I didn't have any self-confidence there, Mark. I couldn't get a date. I couldn't even strike a conversation out of a woman. So I was just trying to break a belief that a lot of men have, that if you have a six-pack, women will like you. If you have a belly, they won't. Because it isn't true. It depends on your confidence. Appreciate that, CJP. I don't know why YouTube have blocked your message there. It's weird. There's certain algorithms where someone will swear and say a horrible thing and YouTube won't ban it, and then someone will say something that's not even rude and they banned it. I appreciate it, Big Frank. I appreciate it. I made that video for you. I did it for Mark and quite a few other guys on the one about the one in the 30s. Yeah, I put that thumbnail up just to have a bit of fun with everyone, basically to make a point and say, look at the shape I was in at 23. But the fact was, I wasn't in good shape here. I didn't have any self-esteem. I couldn't get a girlfriend. I couldn't get a date. That's what I believed. I didn't realize at that time that I could have got a girlfriend. I could have got a date. But because I didn't believe I could get a girlfriend and I didn't believe I could get a date, that's the reality that I created. Until a friend helped me. This sounds like a motivational story, but this is a true story. How did I get jackpot? Roast potatoes and spinach. I'm joking. No, if anyone's thinking it, and I'm open. I didn't use steroids. I never took any steroids. I never used any drugs. That was all natural. It took me about 4 years to get in that shape, Mark, and I was skinny growing up. As you can see, I weren't even that big in now, just in shape. So it took me about 4 years, trial and error, training. I got some help, advice from friends. I used to read the magazines, the bodybuilding stuff. So I really did it through relentless hard work, and if I could even be in half of that shape now, I'd be happy. So I'm working at getting back in shape. My point being, you don't need a six-pack to get a girlfriend or a relationship. You don't need most of the things that the society is teaching us, that a lot of men believe because they're ignorant to it. How's the boxing going? It was going good, Chris. I've kind of laid off it a bit now. I've transitioned to weight training, but I absolutely love boxing, and I'll always use boxing as a tool for self-defense and to keep myself sharp. And I'm glad that you guys have been doing it. Yeah. Floyd was a good friend of mine. Still a good friend of mine. He was someone who changed my life. Him and Les Brown, they changed my life. See, the great thing with Floyd is Floyd didn't teach pickup. He didn't know about that stuff. So I learned a lot from him on how to speak to women, which is a lot of where my philosophy came from. So it's not like I'm being arrogant and a massive ego like some of these guys online who just, their ego's out of control. I'm not sitting here going, oh, I'm so good, I'm the best. Because I'm not. I learned from Floyd. He helped me. He really did. If it wasn't for him, then God knows where I could have been, because I was, really struggling with my mental health due to the fact of not being able to get a relationship with a woman, feeling bad. Bearing in mind that picture there, that was a time where I first started, I met Floyd and trained. So, yeah, I thought about doing a podcast, but I'm someone that I don't like the feeling of using someone to gain something. So I'm not going to do a podcast. I don't know if he'll do it, and I wouldn't want to do a podcast with Floyd just so I can gain something. That's not the kind of person I am. I'd only do it if he genuinely wanted to do it and it felt right. I'm not one of those people. See, most people today, right? I sound like I'm bashing on, but I'm just getting it out. They'll do anything to get views and money. Like, they'll sell out their own mum and dad. I wouldn't do that. I've got class, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm a bit reluctant to do a podcast with Floyd, because it would have to be a situation where he gains a lot from it. I feel right about it. He feels right about it, and it's not for the wrong reasons. So it might never happen. It might happen, you never know, but that's the reason why but the reason why I speak with him, because I got such appreciation. This is how I was brought up. Yeah, I appreciate it. So, it just goes to show what a positive person can do in your life, what mentors can do. But Floyd knows how much I appreciate him anyway. And I'll never stop thanking him and appreciating him, because if he hadn't have helped me at that time, then God knows where I could have ended up. And it was unbelievable, the confidence that I gained. And what I loved about Floyd is Floyd had a great attitude towards women. He was respectful. He was a proper alpha male. He was confident. He didn't do all that bullshit crap, the pickup stuff or the tricks. There was none of that with him, and he was fantastic. And I saw that, and I was around him, and that positive energy and that sort of mentorship, it rubbed off on me, and it gave me confidence, and I got a girlfriend for it. And then obviously I went on to teach many people. Fought some Mike Tyson. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing how he's turned his life around. So, like, it's almost like he's he's transformed so many times. So pretty amazing. They're my thoughts. Now, I'll be honest, when I was growing up, I wasn't a massive fan of Mike Tyson as a boxer, because I preferred Lennox Lewis, and there were other boxers. But as I've gotten older, obviously he was exceptionally talented. But as a person, I liked him more, and the stuff that he talks about on his podcast. A lot of stuff he talks about is just lots of true, mature things. I like the honesty. I like the fact that he's got the guts to be vulnerable about his flaws and insecurities. It's very inspiring. But yeah, man, that's the thing why my mind was smart. Even though I have a lot of issues growing up. I was smart enough to see what kind of role model I wanted to take my advice from. Because I remember the time when I started to get help from Floyd, there was all these, I was going online like you guys were at the time, because I was wet behind the ears. I didn't really understand how to meet a woman. I knew in my own head a lot of the stuff, you know, growing up when I was younger didn't seem right, but I still didn't know. You don't know until you know something. So I remember going online and seeing these, you know, different relationship experts giving their advice, and it just some wacky stuff that was just so far out, and it's just weird. It didn't make sense. Floyd stuff was totally different, and it worked, and it was honest, so straightforward. George Foreman was a great boxer. Yeah, George Foreman was. I loved his story, Foreman. I weren't really around at his time, but obviously I know about his career. I watched his documentary. Mental health is so important for the soul. If you don't have positive outlets, it can affect you for the better, 100%. Man, we've got quite a lot of people on this stream today. Is that the power of a thumbnail? Bloody hell, man. I kind of feel, if I'm being honest, I feel a little bit insulted that I'm not having a go at you guys, but that's the world we're living in today. That's the power of conditioning and marketing. It's like if you put a picture up and you've got a six pack, everyone comes on the video. If I put a picture up of like a nice, something positive, or I'm not saying it's not positive, you get 2 people on the video. I understand, man. I saw a video of Mike Tyson beating the guy on the plane. Yeah, I heard about that. But to be honest, you know, the guy was provoking him. I don't know all the ins and outs, but you know, you can't just go around. You can't go around doing that to people. You know. Anyway. Wow, didn't realize the time. A few more minutes, guys, and we're gonna. I'm due for meal number 3. Got to get those meals in. No, I don't train MMA, but I really respect the sport. I really like it. Those guys are unbelievable. Been around it a little bit. I had some friends that do it, but I'm more of a boxing guy. Yes, Larry. Yeah, guys, we have an avid follow here. Larry wants a 24-hour live stream. Listen, I try to speak to him, man. I try to talk sense, but he wants a 24-hour live stream. So, unfortunately or fortunately, we're going to do a 24-hour live stream. No, that thumbnail's not me. That's been photoshopped. Now, I guarantee you, right? Obviously, I'm joking. Someone will edit that, and then everybody, you know, people today. No, that's really me. Yeah, no Photoshop. No steroids in that photo. No PEDs. No Photoshop. That was me at 23 years of age. I don't know who that is, mate. I don't know who Paul is. I've met many Pauls. Any good Les Brown videos you can recommend? Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. I was listening to some the other day. They're class, man. I'll tell you what I'll do, Mark, right? Because I can't think right now. I'll find some, and then I'll make a video, and then I'll break it down. I'll break down the good Les Brown videos. I'm liking your genuine happiness, Johnny. It's a good transfer of energy that keeps us on your live streams. That's the plan, Larry, right? If I can hypnotize you guys, right? Subconsciously give you good values, right? Exercise all those demons out of you guys, clean you up a little bit, give you some entertainment, and keep you on my stream. Stay on Johnny Berber's stream. Stay on Johnny Berber's stream. Speaking to all human beings' minds. Stay on his live stream. I'm only messing around. If you guys, if someone can't tell I'm just having a joke, then I just don't know what to say, man. Okay, make them have good diets. Take out their addictions. Drink healthy. Do you watch UFC? I don't watch much of it. Only the big fights. So I'll watch it if McGregor's fighting. You know, all the main guys. I'll watch the big ones. If you go back into the same level of fitness with your current mental state, you go back into, do you think it will approach? Of course it will. Yeah, I've said that on the channel, 100%. Nice one, Mark. Yeah, I think I covered a lot today. Oh, yes, I had to cover it. I almost forgot, guys. We couldn't leave. We got to talk about something. I did a big, I did a massive, I've wrote an article. I think you guys will like it. All right, Larry, you got your energy drink, yeah? You ready for the 24-hour live stream, yeah? You guys ready, yeah? 24-hour live stream. Imagine the value that you're going to get. You guys, man, the social anxiety won't exist. 24-hour live stream. Johnny Babby giving you 24 hours of love, kindness, obviously charm. Man, you guys are spoiled, man. You know what upsets me, man? I just start, I'm just gonna make there's a little bit of Les Brown in me, right? It's just a shame that all my followers are broke, man. I don't get no super chats. When I go on other people's YouTube channels, I see them getting all these super chats and I get a lot of love, but it's virtual. I don't see no, I'm only joking, guys. Don't worry, man. It's all right, man. I'll get by. I've got a bottle of water here. I've got a couple of tins of ravioli in the fridge, so I won't go hungry, man. Yeah, innit? 24 hours. You guys, man, you guys are sick, man. I don't know what kind of mindset you're in, man. You want me to call you a coward for 24 hours? Love is the currency. People always say that when they don't want to cough up some Deutschmarks. No, I'm just joking. To be honest, I actually turned off on my channel, right? I had went a bit OCD a few months ago, and I just deleted AdSense. So I don't get any money from YouTube. I've just turned it all off. Maybe I should change that at some point, but I'm pretty grateful that I make a good living from my programs and clients. So, Johnny, you are a breath of fresh air, but rainy. Fair enough. Do I have OCD? I got ECD, I got OCG, I got JCD, I got all the CDs, man. You want CDs? Oh man, I'm high off the fitness, man. When you start training, you start getting in shape, guys. You start to become high off of what do you call it? You become high off the buzz of being fit. What TV? I don't watch TV shows, man. Yeah, you know, Hans, the usual, right? Water and super chats. Now, shouts to one guy. Yeah, look, one guy was kind. Listen to this here, and I didn't expect it. I don't ask for donations from anyone, but I was walking a couple of weeks ago, and one guy stopped me on the street, and I'll be honest. I finished an event this day, so I was in a good mood, but I was a bit tired. I wasn't really in the mood to speak. Right, I'm only human. But my whole attitude is, if someone comes up to me, right, and they're genuine and they're friendly, I'll have a chat with them. So he said to anyway, he remembered me. We spoke ages ago. We met when I was going to church. He's a really nice guy, and I just forgot. I'm good with faces but not names. So I had a chat with him and that. We just exchanged. You know, he complimented me on my clothes, said he looked smart as well. Had a little chat, and then I got home, and he just dropped me a message on WhatsApp saying, you know, good to see me and that. And he said, hey, give me your bank details. And I thought, why is he asking me for that? And he said, I just want to give you a donation, just say thanks, you know what I mean, for all the good work that you do. I didn't even need it. I didn't expect it, to be honest. And I thought, all right, fair enough. So the guy sent me 50 quid, and I just thought, listen, it's not about the money, right? Because £50 for one person is nothing, for another it's a lot. But I really appreciate the fact that it's the appreciation, you know what I mean? So if he's listening, then I really appreciated that, because it was the thought that counts. And that's nice, because not everyone's like that, especially today where there's no agenda behind it. Because sometimes I can feel with some people where they give you something, but they're not really giving it. It's because they want something back, and I didn't get the sense of him. So I appreciated that. And to be fair, no, he wasn't trying to pull me, man. He's got a girlfriend, and so have I. So because the guy was honest, and he's not trying to manipulate me, which are quite a lot of people do, and it happens when you know, not that I think I'm anything. I don't want to be a celebrity or anything like that. But when you build a platform and you're successful, you do get a lot of people trying to trick you and manipulate you, backslappers. So he's genuine, and that's the sort of thing where, because he was genuine with me, I would let him, I'm not going to give him everything, but I'd let him on one of my programs for free. But he probably doesn't need it. I think he's got a girlfriend, or maybe he does, so he could come. So that, there's some good people out there. Yeah, I realize that. That's true. How can I try to improve myself without it's me telling myself that I'm not okay as I am at the current moment? Well, there's a bit of a contradiction going on there, because you've asked a question, which is fine and great. How can you improve yourself? But then you've also spoke, another part of you is saying, is telling you, why can't you just, tell yourself that you're okay? Well, there's a decision to make there. See, there's a balance. I hear people say, just accept yourself, and that there's truth in that, but you can't accept yourself if you're living like shit, and you're not, being all you can be. So you should start taking action. You should start improving, but you can do both at the same time. You can work on, accepting yourself more and having more compassion, but you've got to get off your ass. You've got to take action, because it's not going to change, is it? It's like me years ago, when I, wasn't living good, wasn't working, wasn't trying to date. I wasn't giving value to people like I am now. I wasn't going gym. I was close to self-destruction. So if I was to tell myself then, oh, just accept yourself, that sort of advice could have put me in the ground. So you've got to be careful in the context of how you take it, because it can be misunderstood that. So yeah, of course it's better if you accept yourself, because that's what causes a lot of mental problems as well, where people can't accept themselves. And I spoke about that earlier, about values. But I think there's a balance between accepting yourself, but knowing that you can do more in life and you can be more, and actually going out and doing it. Because that could be a cop-out, can't it? That's like saying your house is full of trash, it's dirty, and getting up and going, this is, excuse my language, but this is a place that looks like a shithole. I'm going to clean this, which you should clean it. Any respectable person would. But then to say to yourself, I need to accept my apartment, I need to accept myself, that ain't going to work, is it? Unless you want to live in a pigsty. So taking it in the right context. Where's Larry gone, man? Larry, you said 24-hour live stream. How long we got now? We've been on air for 78 minutes. We're close to 90 minutes. So we got about another 22 and a half hours. You all right with that, Larry? Yeah, 24-hour. Now, I got a little bit of a joke going with Larry. It's good. I've met Larry in person, so I can talk to him. I can talk to him in more of it's more real, isn't it? You've met me in person. Larry, tell these guys how much better looking I am in person, so they come to my Fearless event. That was just a joke, by the way. A little bit of a joke there. Okay, watch this, right? I'm making fun, right? I'm having a bit of fun. I'm making fun of myself. If anybody out there who gets offended by everything, I'm only just having a bit of light humor. For all the motivation out there, subconscious beliefs. Don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Please don't subscribe to my channel. Don't watch my videos. Don't take my programs. Don't come to the Fearless event. I'm boring. I've got a boring life. I can't. It's not good. The channel's not good. Please don't subscribe to me on YouTube. Is it working, Larry? You told me to do it, man. You told me to do it. You told me to listen, man. I mean this respectfully. Just anyone out there making dating offers at me, I am dating someone. I am happy, but I appreciate your offers, guys. All right, but I'm dating someone, so no thank you in that way. But we can be friends. Fine, I'm subscribed. Cancel. Yep, that's it. Yep, you did the right thing, CJP. Spread the word, man. Don't watch the YouTube videos. I'm just talking nonsense. Don't listen to me. See, the irony of this is when you stop caring what people think and you have fun and you've got respect as well. There's a balance, right? People want to be a part of it. Good little lesson for all of us, and especially for attraction. When you stop trying so hard, people want to be around you. But when you try too hard, like a lot of people do, and of course I have as well, we've all done this, it pushes people away. I went to the first one, it was really good to finally meet Johnny and the others who come. No, it was great, man, honestly, Larry. It was, I really enjoyed you coming. It was great. Appreciate it. Larry, man, you've known me for all these years. Where's the donations, man? Where's the birthday presents? Come on, man. If you really love me, I'm having a joke, man. I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm just having a joke here. I'm messing around. You know when people say, Johnny, I love you. I've been following you for 10 years. It's like, all right, if you love me that much, how comes you didn't even like mean no donations? I've had, I've had people come on my channel, right? And they've been here for a week and they take my program, which is like $2,000. So who really loves me more? Oh man, I don't know where this is coming from, man. It's the Irish in me. What about ED? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, come on, CJP, man. I told you guys, man. I said we're going to build these live streams back. We're going to get that great energy that we had. We're going to get some of that. Who is that? Oh, yeah, I thought I saw a ghost. Never mind. We're going to get that 2019 energy that we had on the live streams. We're going to get that 2022 is the new 219. Do you know what, guy? I think I'm a bit high off this coffee. I've got to be honest, man. This is what happens to me when I drink coffee. I think they're starting to put something in the coffee, man. You got to be careful. Yeah, man. It's good to not take it too serious. Yep. I work for Deliveroo. Yep, I'm a truck driver. Yep, yeah. One guy emailed me a few weeks back. I like to laugh at stuff. He was very, very hateful in the email. I was very upset. And he said to me, he said, I'm a lorry driver, apparently. Apparently, he said he knows, he's got it on good source that I'm a lorry, nothing wrong with being a lorry driver. So, obviously, I agreed with him. He's obviously right. I mean, the irony is, I don't have a driver's license, so I don't know how I'm a lorry driver without having a driver's license, but I did find it funny. When's my birthday? You guys are getting personal, man. September, Mark. When's yours? Then you guys find that these coffees are addictive, man. I've been thinking lately about giving up this coffee. I gave up for a while. It's expensive, to be honest. It adds up when you're buying Starbucks coffees and all these coffees. But man, are they addictive. I'm starting to feel the addictive force of them. Well, I only had 1.5 coffees today, and the crazy thing is, Barry, right? When we're out with my mate, right? We have these great conversations. I've had like, because we spent like 3-4 hours chatting, having chats like this, really good conversations. I've had like 4 coffees and felt okay, but today it's weird. I've had like one and a bit, and I just feel so hyperactive. That's why I've got to give some value, do the stream. I'm addicted to energy drinks at the moment. Yeah. But I don't think coffee's bad for you. The research I've done, unless you guys know any better, right? I'm not a coffee expert. The research I've done, apparently, it's not bad for you unless you're drinking like, I don't know, crazy amounts a day. So I usually drink maximum 2 a day, 1 a day. But there is another part of me. Oh man, wow. Oh, you're September the 11th. We're in the same month. Virgo, right? That's interesting, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. Some of you on here were saying to me that you can't go near coffee. It makes you really anxious and paranoid. And other people say, no, they love their coffee. They can't operate without it. Would you say it's better to go all in on exposure or take it slow? Or do you burn out? Great question. Best question I've been asked in a long time. Best question. I'll give you two answers, right? Now, the 2012 version of me back in the day, I would have said it's better to go all out, complete exposure. But as I've gotten older now, learning, you do soften as you get a bit older. I would say it's probably better approach for people, and I definitely do it with my clients now, to take it slower so you don't burn out. Again, it's balance, because if you throw someone in the deep end, I'm not saying literally, but if you make somebody face social situations that are very fearful and you don't kind of build them up, it could potentially break them. It could traumatize them. I'm not saying that would happen, but it could. Whereas if you do it gradually, which is the approach I do, you're kind of protecting, you're kind of guaranteeing, you're just protecting the mental health. But again, it depends on the person as well, because everybody's different. Some people are mentally, emotionally stronger and they can handle more stress and anxiety. But the safer option would be, slower, one day at a time, bit by bit. I'm probably sensing by the way you asked that question that the right advice for you would be to take it slow, step by step, so you don't burn out. So that's good. Take your own advice. It's mad, isn't it? When I say hit the like button, nobody hits the like. When I don't say nothing, everybody starts hitting the like button. I'm not going to say it no more. I can understand though, because sometimes when people keep saying hit the like, you just feel like, I don't want to do it now. Because I get it sometimes. It's like some people are too pushy. Whereas if you're enjoying it and you're getting value, you just think, oh, I like this person, I like what they're saying. Even though when people that I follow, I hit like on every video that they do because I like them. But if I go on a channel and I think if I think they're arrogant and they're cocky and that, I won't watch their stuff. Not really. I'd say London's great, but it depends on your outlook, to be honest. Because again, one guy's going to say, "Oh, London's difficult. Can't meet women. Can't speak to women or speak to people." Another guy with a more positive outlook is going to say it's brilliant. So from my perspective, it's fantastic, especially compared to where we were in the first lockdown, which was just like we weren't in a good place, were we? People weren't even speaking to each other. Listen to this, yeah. I'll tell you guys a story. This is the truth. Now that you've asked me, this is a few weeks ago. I was in Covent Garden. I was in Covent Garden station. I think I was coming from the gym. I was actually meeting a client. I think I got there early, and there was a nice woman outside. She just looked nice, and I was a bit hesitant. I thought, actually, I'm going to say hello to her, just give her a compliment. So I said hello, gave her a compliment, and I thought she was going to react bad, and then she was lovely. And what she said to me, she said, "This is so nice. Like, thanks for coming over." She said, because since COVID, people are not speaking to each other. And I said, "Oh man, I'm so glad you got a good outlook." And I had a nice chat with her. It turns out she was waiting for a date, but I wasn't interested in getting her number. I just was glad that we had that connection, and I made her feel good. So I can't really give you a more positive example than that. And that's what she said, and I felt the same. And she was like, you could see she was really blown away by it. She just appreciated me coming over, complimenting her and having a chat with her. And I just, you know what I mean? I was a gentleman. I just said, good luck on your date. You know what I mean? I hope he's the right guy for you. And she kind of looked at me like, wow, this guy, is genuine. So it's also depends on your outlook. But yeah, the first couple, man, there wasn't much people out, and no one was really speaking to each other. Everyone, people were paranoid to speak to each other because of the thing. But anyway, let's move on from that. Right, definitely going to shoot in a few minutes. I didn't plan to stay on this long. We just had some good energy going. It's crazy, isn't it, guys? Though how things click into place because I'm really patient. I've been willing to wait and wait until we can build these streams back up, make this a positive impact like before. And the other day I did a stream. It was really good, but we had like 10 on 9, and today's gone to like 23, starting to go back up. And I didn't even try today. I wasn't even planning. And it feels the same way with you guys. And there's a good lesson in there for everyone, myself included, for all of us. And it's not always easy to do. But when you stop trying to get people to like you, and you're honest and you're just yourself and you're respectful and you have a good time, it seems to work out. The connection things seem to flow. And I've seen that happen so many times when I've been teaching clients. And when I've been in social interaction, I've observed it amongst people. I've seen it. Even people that I follow on YouTube, channels that were struggling to begin with, where the people are great, but obviously they're human. They're trying very hard to be liked on YouTube. I understand. I've been through that stage. They're desperate to grow their channel and it's not happening. Because I think people can sense the insecurities and it puts people off sometimes. But as they've continued, and they're loosening up a bit more and then just being themselves, adding a lot of value to people, all of a sudden their channel starts blowing up, views, things start changing. And it's great to see that. It's great to see people go through that. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in making the mistakes, as long as you don't quit and you keep going and you don't care so much about what people think. You get there in the end. Did you? That's great, Peter, man. I said it on the last stream. It seems like a lot of you are really progressing, which is great. That's why I don't buy into much of the negativity. People keep asking me, oh, what do you think about this guy? He's criticizing you, that guy. Or I ain't got time for it. I got time for this. I got time to focus on the positive, to help the right people. Well, I don't exclude anyone, but obviously certain people don't want the help, so I have to respect that. So that's why I haven't really got time to focus on anybody who's got something negative to say about me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take 5 seconds now out of just 5 seconds. I really mean this, right? I'm laughing, but I mean it. I'm not saying any names. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone out there that's slandering me, that's criticizing me, that's saying things about me. I know it goes on. I'm not the only one. Because without your criticism and without your things you say about me, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be continuing to go to where I'm going. I wouldn't have been able to help so many people, because if I wouldn't have been able to handle criticism and hate and trolls, I would be living in fear. I would be the way that I was 20 years ago. I'd be non-existent and I'd be depressed. And more importantly, I couldn't help people. So of course, nobody thinks, well, I want people to be trolling me and hating me, unless you're a bit gone in the head. But at the same time, I've got to be honest, I can't lie and say that, oh, I'm so offended, because I've said it before. Financially, it benefits me, and that's not my main aim. It financially benefits my clients. I'll explain how. It spreads the message, and it's almost like the negative turns into a positive. And the thing which is sad, is when you can have your opinion, and that's fine. No, you can say you don't agree with me on that, or you don't like me. That's fine. I can't change that, and I can disagree with you. But you never see me go online. I've never gone online and said slanderous things about a person's name or put videos up about them. Even if I don't like them, I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't lower myself to that level, because that would bring me down. That would give me bad luck. So I do pray for him. I do feel sorry for him, because you've got to be in a really bad place to spend your time slandering other people and, you know, saying things and being hateful, especially when they're doing positive things. I've got enough sense and life experience to know anyone doing that is not happy in themselves. And I'm happy in myself. And even when I wasn't happy in myself, I couldn't do that. Everyone's different. But I suppose it must really irritate them because they can't get to me. You know, that's a difficult one. That takes time. That takes time. I struggle with that as well. I think most of my clients have. I think a lot of people do, if they're being honest. A lot of people struggle with eye contact. I think the way you overcome it is what you said earlier. You just got to gradually practice it. A lot of it's forgetting. This is a bit of a mind boggle where you have to kind of get to a point where when you're making eye contact with someone, you're not so self-conscious that you are looking at their eyes. Because if you start becoming self-conscious, oh, I'm looking at this person's eyes, what do they think of me? That's when you get anxious and awkward. So you've almost got to get into a space, a bit like where everyone is now, where you're just flowing and you're not thinking. Because if I look at the camera now like this or here, and I start really thinking about eye contact, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable and awkward. I'm gonna want to look away, right? So you've got to kind of forget about that and just talk and get comfortable in your body, and then it flows. But it does take time, and it's not easy. It isn't easy. I struggle with it as well, really badly. It took a lot of practice. But I have noticed in social interactions that lots of people do struggle with it, men and women, even people that are confident at times. So you just gotta. One of the big tips I want to give you for now is, which is going to be hard for you, but you can get it, is you have to just not beat yourself up when you do struggle with it and just think, okay, I struggled in that situation. I got awkward. I couldn't maintain eye contact or I felt uncomfortable. How can I be a bit better next time? Yeah. But I'm going to make a video on that. I keep forgetting because I get that question quite a lot. But I think, yeah, when you get more relaxed in your body and you calm the anxiety down and the adrenaline, and you've got to get out of your head, you see. The eye contact is about getting out of your head. When you're in your head and you're nervous, and again, there's no shame in it. It happens to all of us. It can, and it still happens to me today as well, despite, you know, all the confidence, all the experience. But I know how to handle it better, and I know how to stay calm. Or, you know, as Teddy Atlas says, great saying, I know how to be calm in an uncalm place. So I can be feeling stressed or nervous or awkward, but I can sort of step out. It sounds a bit crazy, but step outside of my body, observe that, and keep some composure and handle it. But that's why I keep saying to the guys, without pressuring them, they really want to push themselves, come down to the Fearless event, because that's how you're going to improve eye contact, by coming to events. So yeah, I would say keep putting yourself in social situations, keep practicing, and it will get easier. You will see an improvement. I see it, like I say, week in, week out with students when I work with them, how their eye contact is a bit shaky on the first session when I meet them. And after 6 sessions, they're much stronger. Like they can hold it and stare and be relaxed. You can get there. Anyone can do it, but it isn't going to be a comfortable ride. I'll tell you that. You know, so don't expect it to be comfortable for the most part, because it's not going to be for a certain period, and then it will get comfortable. Right, guys. As much as I'd love to continue, I'm going to end it. It's gone on longer than I thought, but that's actually been great today. It is absolutely flown. I've had a great time. So it's brilliant that we're building these back up. And I think everyone got a lot out of this today. I appreciate everyone coming on. I'll be doing more live streams, and just look out for the 24-hour live stream, because I just hope that Larry's got his energy drinks ready, because boy, that's going to be something. So I'm just training you guys up, you know, building you up for think of it as a marathon, right? The 24-hour live stream is a marathon. So I'm giving you guys a little pre-run. What we do today we've almost been 100 minutes, so just over an hour and a half. I don't think I'm going to be going live tomorrow. I'll be in the gym tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know when the next one is. I've got a client on Saturday evening, possibly Sunday. We'll see. We'll just have to see. But we done a long one today, so hopefully people got a lot out of it. Actually, there was a last thing I wanted to cover, but I've run out of time. So I'll do it in a video, and that was about hair loss and balding and stuff. So I'm going to talk about that because guys have been messaging me saying, oh, I can't get a girlfriend because I'm losing my hair, and another limiting belief. Anyway, appreciate it, guys. You guys are great. Thanks for coming on. Remember, don't subscribe. Please don't share the video. Don't tell anyone about the channel. I do not want you to subscribe and grow the channel, right? Don't watch the channel. Don't hit like. Don't share. And I'll speak to you guys. I'll see you guys in 2033. All right, have a good one.